your back with your knees bent or straight, feel free to take a moment to just breathe. Notice, perhaps if you'd like to, you can put a hand on your belly. And as you inhale, perhaps you feel the rise of your belly. And as you exhale, a gentle lowering of the belly. If it's accessible for you to breathe in through your nose, I invite you to do so. And then on the exhale, just a long exhale. As you're tuning into your breath, just notice how your whole body feels physically. Taking inventory from head to toe or toe to head. Not getting stuck on any one particular spot. Letting go of judgment, expectations for yourself. And then also, I invite you to tune in mentally. Where are you at right now? And give yourself permission to make this class your own, as I mentioned. Before we started, you can adjust things, you can take a break, or you can make things harder if that's what your body needs today. From here, let's go ahead and bend our knees if they're out straight. So we're still on our back, and you can bend your knees, and then let's press into a bridge, lifting your hips. And if that bothers, feel free, you can just squeeze your rear without the bridge too, if you prefer. So pressing into your feet, lift your hips. Notice pressure through your feet. Perhaps you notice a little opening across the front of the hips, or maybe a little stretch in the front of your thighs. Keeping your neck relaxed. And then let's lower the hips back down. Taking a gentle side to side movement with your knees, kind of some windshield wiper motion here. And then let's press up into one more bridge. Press into your feet, lift your hips. And from this bridge, this time, let's dig your heels in and try to pull your heels without moving your feet. Pull your heels towards your rear, so you're activating your hamstrings, the back of your legs. So your heels are down and you're just drawing them towards your buttocks so that the hamstrings, the back of the legs activate. And then now switch so that you're pushing into your feet. Instead of pulling your heels inward, push into your feet. And now we're activating the front of the thighs a little bit more. And then we can lower back down. And let's take a gentle side to side windshield wiper movement with the legs. And then from here, we're going to make our way over to a side of choice and up towards hands and knees. So feel free, if you want to pad your knees, you can always, I think there's a couple extra mats if you want to double up, or you can fold the mat over a little bit if you want a little extra padding for those knees. Otherwise, we'll find hands and knees, a nice wide hand distribution, finger distribution here so that the pressure is equal. And then from here, we're gonna tighten belly muscles just a little bit. So you draw your belly button towards your spine, and then we'll take that right leg and reach it back. And if you'd like to, you can take the left arm forward. We'll take a few breaths here, energizing through your arm and through your knee and leg and hip. That's supporting you. And then let's lower arm and leg and swap sides. Left leg, right arm. And back in. take one more on each side. Right leg, left arm. And then if we'd like to, we can take the knee and the elbow towards each other. So we're gonna round your spine, curl the spine upward like a cat stretching. Pull knee and elbow towards each other and back out. One more time. Rounding the spine, knee and elbow towards each other and back out. Changing sides. Left leg, right arm. And then we can take knee and elbow towards each other. And back out. And again. And back out. And taking arm and leg down, moving into a little bit of cat and cow here. So on the inhale, we're gonna dip the navel downward, still with a little tightening in those belly muscles. And then on the exhale, curling the spine upward. And just move at your own pace here. Kind of just imagining a wave of movement through the spine. Notice perhaps areas of the spine that are moving freely, or maybe there's some areas that feel a little stiff and tense. Those of us that were sitting, traveling yesterday, we probably feel a little tight. And then maybe it feels good to do a little C shape with the spine and backwards C shape. So you kind of go a little side to side movement here. And then finding our middle spine position again. Let's tuck our toes and we can just sit the hips back towards the heels a bit. And if this is uncomfortable, feel free just to keep the toes pointed. But you may feel a nice stretch here, either in the plantar fascia, the bottom of the foot, or in the Achilles tendon back here, or maybe some other areas. And then we're rocking forward, and we can just tap the toes a little bit like that, bring some input in. And then let's take a little wrist stretch here too. So we can take the fingertips and just keep walking them to the outside of the mat, and then keep rolling them around however far they go, and then we'll get a nice little forearm stretch here. So you can bend your elbows a bit, play around with that stretch, make it your own. And then give one arm a wiggle as you bring it on out, other arm shake. And then we'll find knees wide-ish, heels together, and let's rock back for a child's pose. You can certainly keep your hips a little higher if that feels better. On your knees, you can rest through forearms if that feels better on your shoulders. And from this position, if you're able, just rest the forehead down. Take a deep breath in as you expand out the back of your rib cage and the height of that inhale. Breathe in and expand out the back of that rib cage. And long exhale. One more time, deep breath in. And long exhale. And then we're making our way up to hands and knees. We'll tuck our toes moving into down dog. And if down dog bothers you, you are welcome to make your way to standing, and we'll find you there in a moment. But from down dog, we can take a moment to pedal your heels, one and then the other, towards the floor. Taking that nice juicy calf stretch. Notice if they feel the same, or maybe one side feels a bit tighter than the other. Eventually then finding stillness in your down dog. Soften through the knees, press the floor away from your hands. Nice deep breath in and out. And then we're walking our feet towards our hands. When you run out of space, just bend your knees, give yourself a little assist there. Take a moment to hang and feel the hamstrings stretching. You can keep your arms supported if you'd like to, or you can crisscross them unsupported. If you have blocks and you want to bring the floor a little higher up towards you, you can rest through the blocks here to give you some support. Either way. And then soften through the knees, and we're gonna make our way up to standing. Nice and slow, let our head get used to the position change. Stretch up with the arms And then arms to heart center. We'll take a pause, just breath in, breath out. Check in with your whole body. And then from here, let's go ahead and bend our knees. We're gonna find a chair pose. So a little tuck of the tailbone here, hinge at the hips. If it feels okay, you can take your arms upward or keep them down, either way. And then let's fold forward from here. Stepping your right leg back, and if you're at the back of your mat, feel free to wiggle your way to the front of the mat. And we'll step your right leg back long, and then coming up to our high lunge. Pressing into your feet to help you. Letting the shoulders sink away from the ears. And if we're having any difficulty with our balance here, we can bring that back leg in a little closer too, versus having it so far back. And then arms to heart center. Let's reach forward towards the floor. Planting your right arm, option to take a twist here with that left arm lifted. Pressing strong into your right thigh. Right knee as straight as it'll let you go. You can also take the back knee down, the right leg down if you prefer. And then let's untwist. From here, option to come to hands and knees or plank. So we're stepping back. You can take a hands and knees or a kneeling plank if you prefer, or full-on plank. And then we can lower to belly, and you can do that with knees lifted or down. We'll take an inhale, adding a cobra. Exhale back down. One more time. So inhale and exhale. From here, engaging your core, we can press back up through kneeling plank or full plank. And back to down dog. Breath in, breath out. Walking your feet forward, bending through your knees. We're gonna rise to find chair. Arms to heart center. And option to wiggle those feet together and take a twist to the right. You can keep that twist high up, or you can take it lower down, elbow towards opposite thigh. Back to center, and a twist to the left. And back to center, and we're folding forward. Let's step your left leg back this time for our lunge. It's making that transition up to our high lunge. And once we're here, letting the shoulders settle. Finding that upward energy through the fingertips. And arms to heart center. Reaching down towards the mat here. And then option to stay here or add the twist. So left hand plants if you're twisting, right arm lifts. Pressing that back knee nice and straight. And we're untwisting. Stepping back to plank or kneeling plank or child's pose as you would like to. From here, we'll move on to the left arm for side plank. You can take your bottom knee down if you would like to for a kneeling side plank, either way. Back through center, onto the right arm. And back through center, pressing back to down dog. Awesome job. Let's take a breath in and sigh it out. long exhale. Just kind of notice how the body responds when you breathe out like that. It's just kind of a fun release breath. And then we're walking our feet towards our hands, bending through the knees. Press the floor away from you to come up to standing. Inhale, reach. Exhale, arms to heart center. Let's take a pause. We must be doing something right. I felt a sweat drop. Anybody else? Arms to heart center. Let's step the right leg back and we'll find warrior one. Good, so warrior one, back heel can come down, toes are out just a bit. Front knee is tracking forward. Breath in, breath out. And now bring the arms down by your sides. We're gonna press into your back foot as you shift forward for humble warrior, drawing your shoulder blades together as you do so. So your shoulder blades are kind of pulling in the back. A little tuck of the chin so we have that long spinal line. And then back up to warrior one. Let's cactus the arms open for a little chest stretch. And back up. And then from here, we're gonna swivel to your right to find warrior two. So spinning to your right, the left knee will be bent, the right knee will be straight. And the left toes are pointing towards me. Letting the shoulders sink away from the ears here. Breath in, breath out. Let's add a little shoulder stretch. So we'll take our eagle arms with the left arm coming underneath the right arm. And then drawing the elbows up towards the plane of your shoulders. Yes, and if that doesn't work, you can cross and just reach for opposite shoulders too. And now angling your body towards the inside of your left thigh, as far down as you would like to. And back up. Releasing the arms out to the sides again. From here, let's straighten your left knee. We're gonna turn palms up and find triangle pose, shifting your body left and then down. From triangle, we can take a big circle with that right arm. Nice and slow, just explore that full range of motion that your shoulder wants to give today. One direction, the other direction. And now bending your left knee, back up, warrior two. Let's reverse the warrior, right arm down, left arm lifts. And back through warrior two, shifting into your side angle. So elbow towards thigh with that left knee bent, or you can reach the left arm to the floor or block. And then back up, warrior two. Breath in, breath out. Arms to heart center. And we'll pivot around to face this direction. So just to pivot here, we can reach down for the floor, and then let's lower the hips and that back knee. Taking a nice hip flexor stretch here. If you'd like to, you can use, if you have your blocks, you can use your blocks to bring yourself a little higher if it feels better than going so deep into the stretch. You can also take both hands on the inside of your left foot. And then if you want to, just let that left knee fall out any amount. It's okay if it doesn't move, you get credit for thinking about it. And then we're gonna shift our way towards that back knee. We're gonna take that left leg and just take it right out to the side. There you go. And then just take a little forward back movement here with the hip. And hopefully you're getting a little inner thigh stretch on that left inner thigh, perhaps. You're welcome to hold it or kind of move in and out of it a little bit, whatever your body feels like it needs right now. And then let's take that left leg. We can tighten belly muscles, lift your leg, bring it back behind you, and draw it on in. And let's find a child's pose here. Rocking the hips back, forehead to mat. Breath in, breath out. Just check in, notice how your whole body feels. Right side, left side. And then we'll make our way back upright to hands and knees. Tucking toes, we'll find our down dog again. And enjoy a couple breaths here. Inhale, just sigh it out. Perhaps on your exhale, you're letting your heels sink a little bit. And then from here, let's walk the feet towards the hands, bending through the knees, press the floor away from you. As you rise up, we'll give the head a chance to clear against gravity here. Arms to heart center, pausing for a moment. Feel your feet in contact with the mat. And then folding forward. We're gonna step your left leg back and then make our way up for a warrior one with that back heel down and the toes out a bit. So warrior one, with that left leg back now. Letting the shoulders, again, just kind of relax and release a bit through the neck. Grounding through your legs, but feeling that upward energy through your arms. And then let's draw the arms down by your sides, pulling the shoulder blades together. Press into your back foot as you shift forward for humble warrior. A little tuck of the chin here so we keep that spine long. Releasing the arms down and back overhead. And we can cactus the arms open. And reaching back up. This time we're gonna spin to the left to find warrior two. So that right knee will be bent and the left knee will be straight. And from our warrior two, we can take our eagle arm, so right arm underneath left, or you can reach for opposite shoulders too, and then angling towards that inner right thigh. And back up. Releasing the arms. Let's straighten that right knee. We can turn palms up and shift to the right and down for triangle. Tucking your tailbone here. From triangle, feel free to hold, or we can take a nice big circle with that left arm. One direction, nice and slow. Exploring that mobility through the shoulder and the other direction. And then bending that right knee back up, warrior two. And then let's reverse the warrior. Left arm down, right arm lifts. And back to warrior two. Shifting now into side angle. Elbow towards right thigh, or you can reach that right arm down like you're holding a yardstick, or you can reach for a block. pressing back up, warrior two. Let's take arms to heart center, and then you can pivot back around to face this direction with that right leg still in front. So we'll pivot around this direction, reaching down for the ground now, lowering that back knee. So we're making our way into that hip stretch. We can again use blocks to keep you higher up if you prefer, or reach lower down, your choice. Both arms can come on the inside of your right foot, allowing that right knee to fall out any amount, and it's okay if it doesn't feel like it's moving. I'm sure you're feeling a stretch if that's the case. Breathing in, breathing out. And then we're shifting towards your back knee. We can take that right leg out to the side. So just bring that right leg, plant it out to the side so the toes are facing me. And then either hold this stretch or a little rock forward and back, your choice depending on how much you're feeling this. The right foot can stay planted, yep. And it could be that you notice one side was or is tighter than the other side. And then as we're ready, bracing through our core, let's lift that right leg, bring it on around behind you, draw it in, and we're gonna tuck toes here, making our way to down dog. Breath in, breath out. And walking our feet towards our hands, bending through the knees, pressing all the way to stand. Arms to heart center. And we'll take a little balance here. So with our balance, if you prefer to reach a pole and hang on, that's totally fine. So rooting through your right leg, I'm gonna do my left to mirror you. Let's find our tree pose. So rooting through your right leg, taking your left leg to inner thigh or calf. Another option would be to place your left foot on a block if you feel like that right leg doesn't want to hold you. You can take the arms up if you choose, finding a spot to gaze on that doesn't move to help you with that balance. Finding your calm breath. We're going to add one more pose to this balance sequence. Taking arms to heart center, crossing your left leg over your right for our figure four standing pigeon. Sitting the hips back. Slowly back to 2 feet. Give your standing leg a wiggle. Awesome job. Take a couple shoulder shrugs, whatever feels good here, and then onto the other leg. So rooting through your opposite leg. Your left leg, bring your right leg to inner thigh or calf. Option to keep your arms down or lift them, either way. Here too, you can also place your right foot on a block as an option. And then arms to heart center, crossing your right leg over, figure four. Sitting the hips back. And then releasing back to 2 feet. Get your legs a little wiggle. Let's take a little side bend stretch here so we can find the feet all the way together, reaching the arms upward. And let's take a stretch over to your right. Back to center, over to your left. And back to center, folding forward, softening through the knees. Take a moment to hang here, enjoy that stretch. Ooh, that breeze feels lovely. And then from here, we're gonna step back to our down dog. And inhaling, we'll take that right leg up in the air, behind us, and we'll draw that knee forward to find our pigeon. And the knee comes underneath us between our 2 arms. If this doesn't work, feel free to flip over on your back and do a figure 4 for pigeon. And I can show anybody that if you want, but everybody's in pigeon. So there you go. You can keep the pigeon high, you can take it low, whatever works best for you. And then making your way back upright. Let's tuck your back toe. We're gonna press back to down dog. And then inhale, lifting your left leg up. And draw the knee forward. And we'll find pigeon on this side. We can make our way back upright here, tucking that back toe, pressing into down dog. Breath in, breath out. Let's lower our knees. We're going to come to a seated position, taking your left leg out to the side, and you could tuck your right knee in. So I'll mirror you guys again. So your left leg is out. Your right knee is bent. Finding a tall spine here. Let's reach for your left leg anywhere. That right arm can stay down or you can lift it up and over. We're working to square up your pelvis so that you're keeping your right sit bone down. Around, let's change sides. Finding that tall spine again, and then reaching towards your right leg. Anywhere, left arm can come up and over. center. We'll take our wide leg stretch. You can stay tall here or angle forward. Everybody will look a little different depending on flexibility and how we're built here with our hip joints. So find your version of this stretch that works for you. Making our way back upright, let's find our way to our back again. So on your back, we'll draw your right knee to chest once you're there. So go ahead, you can roll on your back, right knee to chest, and then we're gonna take that right knee and just kind of pull it across the body with your left arm. And your right arm can go out to the side with the palm up if that feels okay. You may feel this in that outer right rear if you just kind of angle the leg part way, or you can take it the full rotation to get that nice full spinal twist, your choice. Once we're here, just finding some breath and a sense of relaxation into the stretch. Let's come back to center, hugging both knees in, a little side to side rock for a moment. And then we can take the right leg out straight and draw your left knee across the body for the other side. Back through center, hugging knees into chest. Little side to side wiggle here. And then we can place our feet down with our knees bent. And let's cross your left leg over your right like eagle legs. So we're gonna have the thighs hugging each other instead of that figure four. Arms can come out to the sides, and then just let the knees fall towards your right. Any amount. And as we're in this position, just take a couple breaths here. Whereas you inhale, you feel the belly rise and the rib cage expand in that 360-degree kind of fashion. And then exhale. We'll bring the knees back to center once you're finishing up with your breath there. And changing sides as you feel ready, right over left. And just let the knees fall to the left. Exploring your breathing in this position, a couple more breaths. And then drawing your knees back to midline, you can uncross and take a moment to do any other stretches that might feel good for your body before our Shavasana. Any other little movements that may feel nice. Or perhaps you're just ready for Shavasana, in which case you can stay on your back with your knees bent or straight. Or if you prefer to be on your side, that's fine too. Just feeling free to join us whenever you're ready in Shavasana. Bringing your awareness and attention back to your breath. Feeling the rise and fall of your belly. And allowing your breath to permeate through your whole body. Breathing into your arms. Breathing into your legs. Into the crown of your head. Using that breath to connect your whole body as one. And perhaps now tuning into the sounds all around us. How many different sounds can you find? Is there one that dominates all the other sounds? Everybody comes here from a different journey, a different background. Similarly, are there sounds in your own lives that you want to hear more than other sounds? Helping to move you towards the person you want to be. Now I invite you, as you're ready, to draw your knees inward and just make your way onto any side, a side of choice. Take a breath on your side so that you let your body get used to the position change. And then eventually, as you're ready, making your way back upright to a seated position. Yourself credit for taking a class for your wellness and health. And then from here, we can take our arms towards heart center. Thank you all so much for joining me for this class this morning. Namaste.
Namaste.